Hello. So I am Brandon. I am a Starseed, and this is my first video explaining a little bit about what that means. Um, it's actually pretty simple. Basically, first things first. When I was younger, I immediately started realizing that reincarnation had to be real. I don't know why, but for me, it just seemed obvious. The problem, though, was that the more I started looking into reincarnation, the more I realized that the memories that I was finding from my past lives weren't necessarily human memories. They didn't really have anything to do with the life here on this planet or anything like that. They seemed very distant, some of them not even in physical reality. And the more I did meditations and past life regressions and finding out about these types of things, the more I realized that there was something happening. Like it's like this is real. Um, but I kind of kept it all in my own mind, and I wrote a lot of things down, but I didn't really take it that seriously for a long time. Um, I think as I got older, things started changing, and I had some weird paranormal experiences and stuff, uh, weird stuff, and it kind of opened me up to the idea that strange things maybe are possible, and maybe things that I was not accepting were actually more true than I was wanting to believe. And then it turns out that like other people started coming out online a lot more talking about this, and there's a lot of different types of things about past life regressions from non-human lives and souls that know that they've never actually lived on this planet, or if they have, it's been such a long time that they like forgot what it was like. So the basic difference, I think, between like a star seed and a non-star seed, if you want to call them that, is because I think almost every soul comes from somewhere else at some point. But I think the difference right now is that those that are awakening to the realization that they are star seeds, they're usually more of their recent memories or recent lives or relevant lives when they do past life regressions, the things that they remember tend to be um, not from this planet or not from this timeline or anything like that. Whereas other people, and there's plenty of other humans who they have past life regressions and they remember World War II, or they have a memory of something from like the 1700s or Victorian ages, times. There's a lot of people that have those as well, and that's fine. I think that um, that's kind of the difference, and that's what makes everything so unique. Each one has their own story, so to speak. And finding out your own path and your own purpose is kind of part of like what this is for me and what a lot of people do as well. So it's kind of the point, I think. Figure out your story and embrace it and figure out why it works for you. So for me, as a star seed, I started opening up to the idea that I'm really not human, like in the level that I remember past memories, and so a lot of things seem foreign to me. War, violence, aggression, that kind of stuff seems like it doesn't fit. It feels out of place, like very archaic. Um, so being in a world that has that happening is a little tough, and almost all the star seeds that I've interacted with, and most people that um, have videos online where they talk about their experiences as star seeds, they tend to talk about that they have issues with violence and aggression, and the fact that society just is the way it is. I think the bigger thing with star seeds, though, is we need to realize that we come from a society that it's ancient, as far as like the amount of time it took for whatever societies we came from to get to where they were, whether it's Pleiadian or Arturian or Syrian or any of the other cultures that are out there in space. If you want to name them, there's countless that don't have names that aren't so easy to recognize. But there's a lot that I guess are more common. Um, but they're all very ancient civilizations that have existed for a long, long time. Some of them before this planet was even here. So it kind of puts things into perspective as far as like, yeah, you can't um, get too mad at the fact that on this planet things aren't that way. If it was that way everywhere, why would we, as starseeds, why would we travel around and try to experience all these different things? The variety is part of how we as starseeds ourselves grow and learn and change, and it's also what we thrive on. At least my group, we thrive on experiences where we can impact a group. Sometimes over a very long period of time, in order to take advantage of certain energies that will be encountering that group during certain periods of time. Basically, you prepare planets for the types of energies that you know that that planet's going to experience later on down that planet's path, so that certain things can happen. And it's usually has more to do with just the idea of creation and growth and spreading upliftment, that kind of a thing. I myself happen to be more Arturian. We deal with tones and vibration, music, harmony, balance, that kind of thing. Patterns, pattern recognition is a big thing. I don't know like all of the different aspects of being Arturian, because there's so many different memories that I have that aren't from that life, or from that group of lives. But that's just the more recent ones, and it seems to be the group that I work with the most when I like go into meditation, or when I have dreams where I'm interacting with some other being and they're usually teaching. It's like a classroom setting, and I see other people that I've never seen before. And sometimes later in life I'll see those people, or I'll recognize their energy and know that like I sat in a classroom with them at some point, like a Starseed Academy, I guess. I don't know. But when you open yourself up to all that kind of stuff, the point is, you realize as a Starseed, then if you're from these other groups and you chose to come here now, there must be a reason for that. There would have to be a reason. You wouldn't just be, chilling. Well, maybe, but then you start finding out online that there's so many other Starseeds that are here now, or that have been here a long time and are starting to wake up now. That kind of makes you think, wait, maybe we're all here now for a reason. Maybe now, and us all being here, is relevant. And I think that's kind of what I'm starting to learn over the last several years, going through my spiritual experience, awakening type thing. There's energy, and the energy on the planet, in the solar system, in the Milky Way, all the way out through the entire universe. There's different types of energy in different places, I guess, if you want to think of them as locations, time and space. When planets go in and out of these energies, it impacts the planets, the people on the planets. I think a lot of ancient civilizations knew that this planet was going to be going through some type of a change energy around this time. And, some of them predicted 2012, some of them, earlier, some later. And I think the point is these types of things can never be pinpointed down to one date. It's never that simple. It's something that starts to happen, and then it builds, and then eventually people look back and go, well, clearly this is what was happening. But when you're in it, often you don't know that it's happening. Starseeds love to be in things like that at those times. And if there's so many of us here now, I'm pretty sure that's kind of what's going on. So for those of you that might be Starseeds, I encourage you to talk about it more with other people, and talk about it more with yourself. Inner dialogue. It's good. And for those that aren't Starseeds, that's cool, but find out more about your past lives. Find out more about, why you're here now too, because even the non-Starseed souls are here now for a reason. So figure out what your reason is, and I guess embrace it. So that was my first explanation of me as a Starseed. I'm Brandon. I will do more videos explaining things. We'll talk about stuff, and there'll be more stuff and things. Hopefully everyone will like it. We'll see. Have fun.